Hey there. Welcome to the day 14 of 21 Days of Presence. I'm Adrienne Elise, and we're moving right along here. The next couple of days have a lot of all of the kind of clumps that's around this Mercury retrograde. So we're getting to the crux of it. And that means we're probably, for people, getting to the crux of the confusion and the feeling of not knowing where you're going, or up from down. And so today we have the exact of the Sun square Jupiter. Tomorrow, the Sun and Mercury come together. And so we're kind of getting all sides of our identity and our conceptual reality are being influenced by a lot of dynamic forces. So just remember that this is a dynamic time. And so the way you feel right now is different from the way you're going to feel in a half an hour or the way you felt yesterday. And so when you go, if you're going through, stuff coming up, it's going to shift quickly. We're in a quickening time, even though Mercury's retrograde, right? Because it's so incredibly dynamic. So today we've got this culmination of the Sun square Jupiter and a challenge to our identity around who we really are as spiritual beings, whether we have a greater role to play or are we just feeders, right? Are we just here to live and die? Or do we have an access and a role in consciousness? And that feeling of connection to something bigger is something that so many people have been missing, especially light worker souls, just feeling like, like, what is the point if I don't feel connected to something greater and my quest and my purpose? This is because you have spent many lifetimes preparing for this particular lifetime. We're going through an incredible process here together. And you have been leading up to this. And so for this world, the conditioning of this world to tell you that you're just small and insignificant, you're just living and dying, and, just go ahead and keep all of your attention on the material things. It's completely gaslighting you away from the truth of who you really are. And so there's a lot there. But the opportunity here is to reclaim this quest and this bigger purpose. And it's not about knowing specifically what that is, though, right? So that's where we get caught up right now, because with Mercury and Pisces retrograde, it's like nobody knows. And so as the Sun and Mercury come in together, this is like our identity and our identity as our spiritual identity, and our identity of our past spiritual age here at the second part of Pisces. And so the Sun and Mercury coming together are redefining, asking us to redefine and re-examine who we think we are in accordance to the bigger whole. And so this always is going to bring opportunity, Mercury and the Sun, for a reworking of who we think we are, our personality, our identity, our ego. That's especially coming up because we're moving into this incredibly powerful energy that will culminate at the end of the month with Pluto coming into conjunction with the South Node. And we can already feel this. And then the last 10 days of the month are going to be more amplified. And then it's exact right at the end of the month. And so we're kind of heading into this. And Pluto has this big energy of just it just comes in and it's like the wrecking ball. And so it's wrecking the past because the South Node represents our past karma, what's kind of pulling us back from behind. So there's a lot of powerful messages going on right now with this Mercury Sun conjunction. So that means that Mercury is going to go on and square Jupiter too, right? And so we've got today Sun square Jupiter, tomorrow Mercury and the Sun together, and then Mercury will go on to square Jupiter in a couple of days on the 16th. So the other thing that's happening, though, that is really sweet, and it's kind of like, hey, it's okay. It's okay. We can do this, right? And that is the fact that Mercury and the Sun are both making a beautiful trine to the North Node. So it's really cool because it's like, yep, ego breakdown. Yep, you don't know who in the heck you are. Yep, just let it all. You're totally confused. You're totally lost. Everything you've done up to this point in your life doesn't make sense anymore. But there's some hope for the future. There's some energy here around. It's almost like, with all of the traumas associated with the Piscean age, we just want to leave it all behind. But then we lose the magic of the Pisces energy. And the magic of the Pisces energy is being able to dream and vision and create. And, it's kind of like the downside of Pisces, or the negative side, has a connotation with the Piscean age, where the oneness principle was used to control humanity. And that oneness, that energy is also like what keeps us in delusions and escapism. And that's the downside of Pisces. The positive side of Pisces is direct connection to source and creative energy. And the problem is that if you feel victimized by spirit or this world, feeling like you're not recognized, you're not important, you don't, all these feelings that are coming up for people right now in this identity crisis, like what we have to go through to reclaim our quest and our purpose and our sense of why we're bothering with all of this, that once you have that distortion and those delusions worked out, then you can move into this beautiful Pisces energy, which is this higher octave of the collective consciousness, this oneness principle, and the power of love and the power of collective consciousness to create what we want in this world. So it's a really good time for meditating and dreaming and being creative and getting out of the mind. It's like Mercury's getting schooled up right now, because when you take the conceptual brain, the Mercury energy of ideas and thoughts and understanding, and you put it in the Pisces energy, and especially retrograde, going back over these places, it's just like the mind just goes, it's like, this is what's kept us actually in the victimization energy of the Piscean age, is that there's such a separation between our physical reality and our spiritual reality. And so when you go and you take your regular everyday thinking brain and you put it into like a really this kind of spacey out there cosmos Pisces energy, it just is really, you lose all sense of who you are, right? That's kind of what's being asked of us, so that we can figure out who we really are. And so again, a lot of people going through this ego death process, and probably frustrated about not getting anywhere in life, doing all this work and having it not be quite right the direction that you wanted to go. But it doesn't matter. This is a big thing that's I've seen in birth chart after birth chart after birth chart, especially for light worker souls. It's like spending a big part of this life undoing all these other lives so you can start living, right? Because now is the time. We've been waiting for this particular time. We've got the universe on board with us. It doesn't seem like it, right? Because it seems like all forces are working against. And that's this narrow construct reality. If you stay in the Mercury mindset, that's what it's going to feel like. If you move into the wider, bigger picture, the Sagittarius energy, the Pisces energy, then it makes more sense, right? It's not going to make sense. That's kind of maybe the message, right? If you only are looking at it from this point of view, in narrow 3D physical dimensional reality, nothing's going to make sense right now. Right. And it's hard because we got to live our life. We got to make our money. We got to do what we're here to do. We got to feed ourselves. And, so it's a little bit challenging right now, probably for people around just keeping up with the physical reality, because there's this pull on our psyche to come into this oneness principle from a different perspective, not from victimization, like there's some God out there that's going to punish us or tell us whether we're good enough. But the fact that we are conscious creators, we are part of consciousness, and our vibrational energy is very important in this part of this process that we're in right now. So it's it's ultimately empowering time. It can be. And yet it feels confusing and disempowering, and almost like it feels like a lot of people are going, like having to replay these patterns of that punishing God, especially with Pluto in Capricorn coming up on the South Node. That's what that really represents. It's like, and this energy of like, nope, you're not doing it right, and that it feels like, God, I'm still not doing it right. And why can't I get it right? And why can't, and it's like, you actually are doing it. You're doing exactly right, because it's not about succeeding in this realm, like we're so much bigger, and our success in this realm has to do with our peace of mind, our feeling like we have a purpose, our feeling of connection to the greater whole and the greater energy. So that's kind of the deal with that. And so over these next couple of days, these issues are all coming up. But as with trine energy, this Mercury and the Sun trine the North Node, we're going to be feeling that for the next couple of days as well. And that is the trines. You have to reach out and take advantage of that energy. And so the next couple of days, it's a really great opportunity to vision the future, feel the vibration of what you want your life to look like, not specifics, right? Because we're not there right now. But at the same time, the vibration and the emotion and the energy of, what if you have been preparing? Just let yourself be there. What if you have been preparing for lifetimes and evolutions for this time right here, right now? And it's finally going to make sense. And you're finally going to feel like you're using your gifts. And you're finally going to feel like you have a purpose. You're going to finally feel like it makes sense. But it's like this whole Mercury retrograde in Pisces is like, first you have to go into total confusion and have your ego death before you can get to that point. But what if that was all true? What would it feel like, the energy of this future that's waiting for you? And so let's tap into that today. Go ahead and just feel yourself arrive right here, right now. Just sinking in. Go ahead and establish a root system, sending down a hello of communication with Mother Earth, and just feeling that shift as you come into communication with Mother Earth, Goddess Sky. It has a feeling of like, and it's interesting because this exercise is so simple, and yet it's so important, and it creates such a profound shift in people's fields. And that's what I've noticed through these 21 days, and the last 21 days, is that it gets deeper and easier to get deeper in your grounding. And it's so important because the difference of feeling when you're kind of like, well, this is going on, right? And then when you are moving into that communication with Mother Earth, the whole energy shifts, and it's kind of like, oh, whoa, this is happening, right? It's kind of like remembering that you are in a journey and in a process. And it has this feeling of like, oh, I'm in it together with the earth, and I don't have to hold on to control and try to fix everything right now. And so this is just, and then there's this, it neutralizes your root chakra, connects your root chakra into the earth field. And that allows for a feeling of like, oh, I can just be here right now. Everything's okay right now. And let go of that control, let go of that fear, let go of wherever you're holding on in life, and just be right here, right now, and just enjoy that presence. And go ahead, since we're exercising and experimenting with this communication with Mother Earth, go ahead and say hello to Mother Earth. How's she doing today? And go ahead and like, maybe it's a good time right now in this astrology to ask her, what does she think is going on? And just kind of say, hey, What do you think about this planetary ascension process? And just receive any messages, deepening your connection, your communication, just your whole body, relaxing and releasing with gravity, allowing Mother Earth to hold you. Just right here, right now, leaving everything behind, coming in to that still point. All your concerns and worries about the past or the future, just leave them all aside. They'll be there when you get done. Just give yourself a few minutes to let go of control, to relax and release, and to feel like you are journeying together. This is a big part of the programming, the illusion of separation, that we're just off on our own, kind of, we got to figure it all out. And that doesn't really make sense, but I know we all feel that way. So this is just gives us a moment to sink in and relax and release. And I'm seeing this beautiful spiral of time that Mother Earth is showing me and showing us. And it looks like little points of light. And she's like, we're on a cycle of time. It's okay. We've been working towards this for a long time, and we still have some process to go. And it's a spiral, and it's not so much about past and future, it's about an energy vortex. And we are, the picture is kind of like, just get on board with the program, right? Like, get on the ark that is the Earth planet spaceship that we're riding together, and ride, right? We're so busy doing and fixing and managing and yada, yada, yada. And now it's like, let's just give ourselves 5 minutes to let go and be a conscious participant in the process of this spiritual evolution without having to do anything about it. Like, our whole life is like, what are you going to do about it? And it's like, so much doing, and that's part of the deal with the 21 days of presence. It's an opportunity to do a little bit more being along with the doing. So let's just go ahead and just take this moment with Mother Earth and ask her if she has anything for you, any visions or information, healing, that can help you understand and help you trust in her and your higher self and the creator. There's this huge force of energy that runs everything in our world. We have direct access to this energy in our body. It's what keeps us living and alive and healthy and in balance. And this energy is on a trajectory. Our universe is ever expanding. And what is this spiral movement unfolding process? And Mother Earth says, well, yeah, it's a process, and we're just right here, right now in it. And stop trying to change it or fix it or heal it or all that. Just stop. Just stop and ride and be here with the Earth right here, right now. And notice that when you do that, it's so much easier to come into awareness of other souls and lightworker souls, your soul group out there that you're working with on the astral plane. You can feel that when you stop and you become quiet. And so go ahead and just enjoying this rest. I've worked with souls that have gone through so much over lifetimes, and maybe have had lifetime after lifetime of like having to come right back, and they're on this mission, right? And they're trying to get something accomplished, and they have never been able to rest for lifetimes. Maybe their soul has not rested. And this is something that is absolutely essential for us to be able to move forward in our spiritual evolution. So just give yourself a few minutes of rest. Just for a few minutes, you're riding on this beautiful Mother Earth, and it's not up to you. You're just here, experiencing, being present, loving, gratitude for this crazy and wild and wonderful experience that is moving you closer to your higher self. And just be right here, right now. And notice the power. We all have this huge desire to do and fix and change. And yet just being present and allowing your vibration to come into frequency resonance with the earth in this process, the hope and the love and the joy that runs this universe. What if that is the most profound thing you could do? Is to be right here, right now. Just taking a few deep breaths and feeling yourself breathing in air, light, and prana, the energy source of the universe. Awareness of that. And as you breathe, expand and contract with the earth and with your soul group. Just together, you're here present on the earth. There's a message coming through around if we don't have a now, then we don't have anything. If we're existing, running around through our life, doing this, doing that, and living in the past and the future, we don't have a life. Give yourself a life for just these few minutes, this rest, this release, this trust, and just continuing to breathe, expanding and contracting with the earth, the other light workers that are also in presence right now, your soul groups. It's interesting because the Pisces energy has a lot of like not dealing with reality energy, right? And but it's like, what if this is reality? You know, what if the present moment, the oneness consciousness, is way more real than our manifested reality? You know, because quantum physics has shown us that what's solid to us isn't actually solid, doesn't actually exist. It's actually only there when we think it's there. So what's more real? So come down to reality. And maybe that's this big shift we're in. This Mercury retrograde in Pisces, this evolutionary time on the planet. It's a new reality. And just rest and enjoy. Recognize that in this now moment, you have everything you need. And in this now moment, everything is just fine. I'm seeing this beautiful merging, an opportunity right now to merge in our heart with heart frequency resonance, earth frequency resonance. It's kind of like stepping on to this trajectory, stepping onto the ride, stepping onto the spiral, and kind of being like, okay, I worked for many lifetimes to be here. I might as well be here and get on the train. Say yes to Mother Earth and this evolution, committing to this experience for this time. Just staying in this place of deep rest, rejuvenation, preparing for the new reality ahead for as long as you would like, bringing this peace into your everyday life, remembering it's here. You only need 5 minutes. And when you're ready, go ahead and complete your meditation. Well, thank you so much for joining me for day 14 of 21 Days of Presence. And I hope that you will consider joining. We're going to have a culmination event on the equinox, so the day of the full moon, but about an hour before the equinox starts, or the exact time of the equinox, we're going to be having this group intuitive session. And it's an opportunity to come together, connect with our soul group, and get some look at shared past life energies and get some healings and clearings, this type of guided meditation, but also with shared past life pictures and intuitive healing to prepare us for this new reality and reset our vibration and just get on board with what's happening. And so I hope to see you there. It's a beautiful opportunity to find balance at equinox, at Libra full moon happening the exact same day. So we can find balance in all of this shifting together and kind of set that vibe for our life and for the energy trajectory of our soul group, and in alignment with the trajectory of this earth evolution, spiritual evolution experience, whatever's happening. So thanks so much for joining me. I look forward to seeing you on that Equinox event. It's $20, and you can, if you can't make the live one, you can catch the replay, and still the energy will be encoded of that equinox. So I hope to see you there, and I'll definitely hopefully see you tomorrow for day 15. Until then, I'm Adrienne Elise. Namaste.